And thank you for tuning into 40 Acres News Media. My name is Ariel, and I'm here with a member of our community. Alice, how are you doing this evening?
I'm fine. How are you today?
I'm fine. I'm fine. If you noticed earlier today, I posted some information about what happened to her experience at a barbecue place called Sonny Bryan's Barbecue. Okay, and I just want to make sure that you understand this was the Inwood location of Dallas. What other streets are around there? Is there 630?
Harry Hines and Inwood, next door to the Salvation Army.
Okay. So that's where this location was. But what happened was that she noticed this was your first time at this restaurant?
I've been there a couple of years ago, so
Okay.
This is my first time this year.
Well, they have some discriminatory practices at this particular restaurant, and she's going to tell you what happened. What happened up there, Alice? And this was yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday about 11 o'clock, I met with a colleague for lunch, which we had planned this over a week ago. Upon arriving, she was on the phone sitting in her car, and I said, well, let me get up and go to the restroom while she's in the car. About that time she gets out, then we'll be ready to order. She came in about 3 to 4 minutes later after I was already in the restaurant. But I went to the counter when I first arrived and asked, did they have a public restroom? The young lady told me no. Nubia told me no, they did not have a public restroom. I said, restroom? I'm like, are you sure? No restroom at all? She was like, no. I said, okay, wow, that's strange. So I took my seat over at a table. Beth walked in 3 to 4 minutes afterwards. As she walked in, I said, we may need to go somewhere else because they don't have a public restroom. She said, no, cannot be. I said, yeah, this is what they're saying. They don't have a public restroom. She said, wow. She said, that's strange. They have to. I said, well, they say they don't. She said, well, I'm going to ask. And I said, okay. I said, you go ahead and ask. So I stood behind the people that was in line, the customers that was in line, and she went up and she said, oh, do you all have a public restroom? He said, oh yeah, and handed the key. I stepped out and I asked. I said, now sir, I just asked you guys not even 3 to 4 minutes ago, did you have a public restroom? You told me no. So why was I denied access to this restroom? And he just looked. And she, by that time, Beth is going, this is not right. Why did you do her like that? Why did you treat her like that? How could you treat her like that? Why would you give me the key and not give her the key? And I'm looking at him as if you just denied me the bathroom, and I have a disability also. And I'm just looking at him, and Beth is just talking to him and trying to get some answers. At that point, he decided to call the manager. The manager comes out, and there was a couple standing at the counter that had ordered and getting ready to pay for their food. And the lady turned to me and she said, I'm sorry, I'm hearing this conversation. I know you asked to use the restroom. I didn't know they denied you. What is going on? And I said, they denied me the restroom. So she said, I am so sorry that happened to you. The customer gave me a hug. She and the husband said they were not going to pay for the food. They did not want it. They walked out. They approached another couple that was coming in the door as they were leaving out. And whatever happened there, she said to them, they left out also. At that point, the manager is, can I pull you to the side and talk to you? So he asked me what's going on. So I repeat the story and I was telling him I was denied the restroom. And he said, well, we do that, but I need to get more details. I said, more details? I said, so Beth is going off. Beth is like, this is not right. This is not right. And she said, she's not lying to you. I'm not lying to you. This just happened. So at that point, he was like, well, I need to investigate. I need to get more details. So I'm like, what details do you need to get? What details do you need to get? Well, I need to find out a little bit more about what happened. So I turned to Nubia, who denied me access. And I say, when I came in and asked you, did you have a public restroom? What did you tell me? No, we don't have one. I said, okay. I said, what other details do you need? That's detailed enough for you, sir? So he stood there and looked, and he tried to explain that this is their work ethics, that they were told by the corporate office that if anybody come in and asks to use the restroom, that they don't have a restroom. And he whispered to me and he says, well, we kind of do this because of those people over there by the Salvation Army, you know, those homeless people. And I said, so now I look like I'm homeless and you're still discriminating, right? And no. I said, yes, you are. I said, what point did you guys determine that I was homeless? Well, what I'm saying is we only let the paying customers use the restroom. I said, so at what point did you determine that I was not a paying customer? By this time, Beth is going off again, and she's saying, look, this is what we planned. We planned to come here over a week ago for our lunch break, for our lunch meeting, and then we were going to go over to our meeting. And he was like, no, well, this is what, you know, I'm sorry, this is what we do. And so Beth was like, well, this is not right. Do you guys realize that it is not legal for you to deny somebody access to a bathroom? So she brings up the incident with the three guys that are in Philadelphia where they were denied access to the bathroom and they were sued.
She said Starbucks, yeah.
At Starbucks, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Those three guys. So at that point, she's telling him the law now says you can no longer deny anybody access to a bathroom. So I looked at him. He said, well, like I said, it's for paying customers. I said, paying customers? I said, so I don't look like a paying customer. I guess I look like somebody just came out the alley also, right? No, I say, but this is clear that it's not that. I said, and I turned to Nubia. I said, Nubia, did you ask me if I was a paying customer? No. So I said, I was prejudged because of the way I look. I was prejudged because I was black. I said, but Beth is white. Beth did the same thing. She didn't ask for an order. She didn't try to order anything. She walked directly up and asked you guys, do you have a public restroom? And you immediately gave her the key. So now I'm the one being singled out. And I could not believe it, and I still cannot believe that discrimination is this tough. And you don't know what it's like until you go through it. And I mean, this is something that you don't want to ever feel. The hurt, the anger, the humility, the embarrassment. All this goes along with it. And I mean, I didn't sleep good last night. I don't think I'll be sleeping good for a while. And this is just, it's just unbelievable. Unbelievable.
So you've never been through anything like this remotely similar to what happened yesterday? Never. This is horrible. This is horrible. Anybody watching this, I just need to tell you, it doesn't matter if it's the Inwood location. He said that this came down from corporate. If a person is not paying, then they cannot use the restroom. And her friend comes in after she went to the table, comes in and asks for the key, gets the key, and asks to use the bathroom, and then they present a key and give it to her to use the bathroom. At no point did they ask, or, where would you like to sit? Are you is your order to stay or to go? Because there's certain ways that you can speak to people if you're not certain about whether or not they're going to eat there, where it doesn't seem like you're being too aggressive, and where it can seem as if it has nothing to do with you using the bathroom. If you'd like, the person could have said at the counter, if you'd like, I can go ahead and take your order and we can get started on it while you use the restroom.
Exactly.
So a lot of these people, when I hear stories like this, and again, I'm sorry that this happened to you, but when I hear stories like this, it sort of makes me feel as though we are traveling back in time.
Most definitely.
Yeah. There's no question about it that she was denied access to the bathroom because of the color of her skin. Because she's a black woman. And I don't want to go into too many details about exactly what happened, because I don't know if you're made a decision to get an attorney involved, But this is a discriminatory practice that he said came down, the so-called manager said came down from the corporate office, that this is what they would do. And apparently they don't know what the rules are. You know, it's very easy if more people found out about this to go outside that restaurant, and people go into the restaurant would be, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that this happened. You know, it's not fair. It's not fair. Here we have a woman who has raised 4 children and has grandchildren that have to hear about what happened to her. And none of them may have ever experienced anything like what she did, and none of the children may have experienced anything like it. You know, it really is not fair. Somebody needs to do something about it.
It has to stop. I mean, this this racism, this color of the skin, the determination and the judgment of how you look, it has to stop. When does it stop? I mean, it just has to stop. This is crazy. I mean, this is crazy.
And then the other thing, to add insult to injury, she speaks with, you say you talked to the VP today?
I talked to the vice president.
We're not even
today.
going to go into, because I want to make sure that if she does decide to get somebody to represent her, that too much hasn't been shared. But this person's conversation was sort of condescending in the manner that he spoke to her. You know, and I'll tell you briefly, one of the things he said, well, we can go and get something to eat and talk about it. Let me explain something to you. All of us are not interested in sitting down and getting something to eat. Okay, at whatever restaurant. I don't care if it's Chris's Steakhouse. We're not interested in eating anything. We're interested in you fixing this.
Exactly.
So this is 40 Acres News Media. Alice, I appreciate you talking with us. We're going to follow up with you and find out what's going on.
Okay.
Because now that the VP knows that a dinner is not good enough, what else is he going to come up with? You know, is he going to fire these people? And I don't know if he can fire the people if they say that this is what came from the corporate office.
Exactly.
You know, the only thing I wish you had done would have been to videotape them when you were talking to them.
I wish I had to.
That's the only thing I wish you would have done.
I did take a picture of Beth with the key. I said, well, let me take a picture of you with the key, since this is who they want to have the key. Here, let me just snap your picture.
This makes no sense. And then to hear from her that I'm not even going to mention the news station. I'm going to try to give them a chance to make good on this, since it's so-called mass media. But she called one of the stations and mentioned that she had been discriminated against, and asked if the person that answered the phone would take her story. And to be insulted and to be hurt again, his response was, I have no way of verifying that. I'm not interested. And hung up the daggone phone. I was starting to say something else, but hung up the phone. So what I'm saying is, I don't know who these people are, but they have to understand that they can't do our people that way. Okay, and it's very easy to get a group of people. She's very influential in her church. She has a non-profit organization. It's nothing for her to get her volunteers to go down to this place, stand outside the restaurant with some signs, and have everybody, like that couple that left and the people that they ran into when they were leaving out, say, we're not eating there. We don't think this is fair. We're not going to eat there. So again, thanks for tuning in to 40 Acres News Media. Please like our page, follow us on Facebook. Thank you.